First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you for joining us. I was just going to pull up this right now here so you can take a look at our live shot from our Chinook Winds camera there at Lincoln City, and seeing the coast right there. It's fairly calm right now, but we just had that huge weather storm and another one on the way. We're going to be discussing that. Again, this is Fox 12 Now. We're live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We're on YouTube, we're on our website, and we're at kptv.com, so lots of places to find this show. But let's talk about this weather system that just came through the Northwest and really the whole West Coast, really doing a lot of damage up north. We're going to talk about Oregon specifically here and recap what happened with that and also what to expect with another potential bomb cyclone coming up. To do so, we have Tyler Kranz from the National Weather Service. And Tyler, thank you very much for having some time to join us. I appreciate that, so we can talk about this. And I think one thing that deserves reiteration is just explaining what a bomb cyclone is to anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah, that's a great question. So there is a specific definition, actually. As meteorologists, we look for pressure drops. So specifically, the central pressure of a low pressure system must fall at least 24 millibars within 24 hours or less. The cyclone that we had bomb out yesterday definitely meted that criteria. It actually far exceeded it. So that's why we've been hearing that term bomb cyclone being thrown around. They're not unheard of. It's not like they've never happened before. They certainly happen, but this one was particularly strong.
And we have seen, just to clarify this too, we've seen some reports that this may have been the biggest bomb cyclone ever recorded. Is that correct or incorrect?
I would have to do some digging to confirm that, because off the top of my head, I'm not actually sure. My gut tells me no. I don't think it is, but I would have to double check on that.
But it definitely was a big one.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the central pressure, I believe, dipped a little bit below 950 millibars. So that's very, very strong. Um, it produced wind speeds at our buoys of uh, over 60 knots. So winds were very, very strong over the coastal waters. Luckily, that cyclone tracked offshore far enough to keep winds less extreme inland. So, inland areas in the Willamette Valley, for example, only saw wind gusts peaking anywhere between 30 and 50 miles per hour. And then at the coast, we saw winds anywhere between 40 and about 70 miles per hour, except for at bridge level in Newport, there was a measured wind gust of 73 miles per hour. So obviously, those are still strong winds, not unheard of for our area this time of year, but certainly strong. And we had lots of reports of downed trees and power outages at the coast.
And yeah, so that's what we were seeing with that one, and obviously, as we mentioned before, more damage up north, and some stuff going on down south. But as far as the Oregon coast, and into the inland side, that's what we were dealing with. So when you talk about this one that just came through, there's already another one that may be developing right now. Can you tell us about that and how we could get another one just so quickly after this one?
Yeah, I mean, there is another low that's basically going to be kind of wrapping around the low we just talked about. So basically, the bomb cyclone we saw yesterday is still out there spinning over the Northeast Pacific, but it's weakening. But while it's weakening, there's actually another low that's going to spin up kind of to the southwest of it and then wrap around that parent low and actually head up towards the coastal waters again. It doesn't look like it will make landfall, but it will take a somewhat similar track to the cyclone we just saw. So, what will that bring for us? More rain and more wind. The good news is, though, this second low doesn't look to be quite as strong as the low we saw yesterday. So wind speeds are forecast to reach anywhere from 40 to 55 miles per hour at the coast and anywhere from 30 to 45 miles per hour inland. That's still strong though. That could still result in some downed trees and some power outages, but it's not, you know, totally out of the ordinary for this time of year. I will say though, there is some uncertainty. There are some forecast models that are bringing that low ever so slightly closer to the coast, such that maybe the coast will get wind gusts over 55 miles per hour. Right now, the probability for that is around 40%.
So potential there that it could go up a little bit more. Now, as far as a timeline, what are we thinking for the timeline? And just for reference for people who are watching this, this is Wednesday, November 20th right now around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you're watching this afterward, that's when we were discussing this, and clearly things change. But as of right now, do we know what that general timeline is?
Yeah, so Friday morning, it will start to ramp up pretty quickly at the coast, and by the time you get to late morning, early afternoon, the winds will probably be peaking. This does look like a pretty short-lived wind event. You know, it looks like the strongest winds will only last maybe 6 hours or so, because once we get to Friday night, it's actually already improving. So the duration's not actually that long for this particular low.
Now you mentioned that bomb cyclones do happen and cyclones happen. How often do cyclones occur in the North Pacific like this over a general over this general time frame?
Yeah, so I really every fall and winter we get strong low. Pretty much every year we get strong lows that will move up through the Northeast Pacific. How many of them meet the criteria for a bombogenesis? That I don't know. Off the top of my head, if I had to guess, it seems like we tend to see. A cyclone that meets that criteria or at least comes close to it pretty much around once a winter or so. Some winters, none at all, and some winters maybe more than one, but it's certainly not unheard of. It does tend to get a lot of attention and a lot of hype, partly I think just because of the terminology itself, right? Bomb cyclone, it sounds so scary, but it's not actually something that's unheard of.
Yeah, you mentioned the terminology. I think you just threw another one out there. But you say bombogenesis? Is that what that was?
Yeah, bombogenesis is basically the process of a cyclone rapidly deepening into a bomb cyclone. So, um, yeah, that's kind of a fancy meteorological term that we use as meteorologists. But I suppose to the general public, they're more used to hearing something like bomb cyclone. That's often what most people would hear it be called. Yeah.
I plan on incorporating that into my lexicon now. So, but learning, I'm learning something here. So, generally speaking, though, for this one as it comes on, and in this area, as far as the Oregon coast into Southwest Washington, is there a lot that they should be concerned with, or any specific things that people should really pay attention to here over these next couple of days as this develops?
I would just say monitor the forecast just because, like I said, there is a chance that winds could increase a little bit with future forecast updates. There is a little bit of uncertainty there, like I mentioned earlier. So it is a forecast worth watching. If we do have to issue a high wind watch or a high wind warning, we'll certainly do so. Within the next 24 hours or so. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, anytime we have high winds on the way, just make sure you're securing loose outdoor objects that you don't want blowing around. If you're driving a high profile vehicle, maybe avoid driving during the windiest time period when the winds are at their peak. But other than that, pretty much stay safe and keep up to date with the forecast.
All right. Well, Tyler, thank you very much for having some time to talk to us. I appreciate it. Giving us some of those definitions and also a better understanding of what could be on the way. So we will follow along with all the weather updates. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye. And for everybody watching, again, we are live here for Fox 12 Oregon. So I thank you for tuning in. We are here from the newsroom, of course, at kptv.com. We'll keep you up to date as well with all of the weather. And our Fox 12 weather team is working hard on that too, along in conjunction with the National Weather Service to keep you up to date on all the information that you need. So again, kptv.com, that's another place I recommend you go to find out all of that. But that's it for right now. I will talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.